Hi, everybody. So today we are here with Brianna.
Hello.
And we wanted to have this video today so that we could go over her business, Fine Line.
Yes.
Very first question, what is Fine Line?
Okay. Well, hey, FBC. I am one of your founders, and I'm kind of excited for a change that I get to talk about my business instead of everybody else's. So my company is Fine Line Furniture and Accessories, and we are a boutique retail store that offers interior design and furniture procurement. So we're very multi-tiered, right? So we do interior design for, say, private owners of luxury properties, and then in residential, and then we also work with real estate agents and developers to do staging and styling for their projects, including common areas like lobbies and models and things of that nature. And then we do a lot of work in the medical and hospitality field, whether it may be procuring furniture for a hotel, or maybe just bringing in like the conversation pieces for that hotel. And then obviously in like medical and offices as well. So we've got a lot going on.
Right. It sounds
right?
like, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot of balls in the air because you're not only out there on projects, but you're also running a full 4,000 square foot showroom.
Sure. Okay. The one in Coral Gables.
The one in Coral Gables.
Yes.
So we have it's actually 3,800 square feet in Coral Gables, right on Ponce, which is across from Merrick Park.
Merrick Park, I was going to say, yes.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a small design studio that's in Key Biscayne, right off of Harbor Drive.
Got it.
Yeah.
I've always seen your logo of driving by because I always look at the piano store.
Yep.
It's right across from you.
Yeah. It's
a beautiful spot.
A lot of people know our logo. I would consider ourselves more of a destination spot now, because we've been in Miami for 40 years.
40 years?
It's 40 years this year.
Wow.
Well, in October, we'll be celebrating 40 years, and my parents started the company.
I was going to say, who started it? How did that?
Yeah, so my parents, my mom was originally from Holland. My father's family was Czechoslovakian. They moved to Canada, and my father was born in Manitoba. Meanwhile, my mom and her family came in from Holland on a boat.
Wow.
And so they met in Canada. Then very quickly, once they grew up, and when they first met, my mom didn't even speak English. So as they, got to know each other, then they fell in love and they moved to the Bahamas. And they lived in the Bahamas for 10 years.
Wow.
And they lived in the Bahamas when the Bahamas was very worldly. All the movie stars were going there. The casinos were getting opened. My dad was part of that.
Wow.
So it was a pretty amazing lifestyle. They were jet setting to London and, Paris and, going along with all this crowd. And at that point, that's when my mom really started to get into interior design and a real love and passion for worldly things.
And as a young
woman, like in her 20s.
She always inclined towards design.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then when the casinos were finished, they moved to Miami. My mom immediately went and got her degree for interior design. And you can imagine Miami, we're talking, 40 plus years ago. So, and it was like old Florida, but there was just, oh my gosh, right? There was just so many low-bearing fruit. It was just developing. My parents actually were one of the first people to move into one of the Architectonica buildings on Brickell.
Really?
And my mom still lives there in the palace. That's the one, the red stairs that comes down.
No, I'm not familiar with that one. I lived for a while at the Axis, which was Architectonica.
Okay, so think about the first strip of Brickell. Okay. That first strip right after you pass Key Biscayne.
Yes.
There's probably now, I would say about 20 buildings or so. Originally, there was it was either 6 or 7.
That's where it all started.
That's where it all started.
Yes.
And that's where I grew up, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. The views are amazing too.
Her apartment has both views. It's spectacular. Like those older buildings right there have no obstruction, right?
The Santa Maria building.
Yeah.
That's newer.
It was way newer.
Okay.
Yeah. So then my parents, when she got her design degree, they decided they wanted to open up retail stores here that were catering to not only people that were, luxury, but people that really like the worldly items. They wanted to bring all the things they'd seen globally to Miami, and Miami didn't have anything like it.
I see.
So
It's almost that feeling you get when you walk in somewhere, like there's design, there's, that element to it.
yes,
But you're always wondering, where did you get that from?
Right.
Where did it come from?
yeah. Have you been to my shop yet?
Yeah.
Yes, because you came for an event.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about,
Absolutely.
right? So we have some mass manufactured pieces on the floor, but for the most part, what you're seeing are one of a kind or very few of a kind or, kind of a rare material or, designed by, a designer. So these are pieces that people are going to either collect or that people want in their homes because they're not going to see it somewhere else.
I see.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. And sometimes they may not travel to that country or
Absolutely.
wherever you got that from.
Yeah, we actually, and because we do procurement for larger projects, we now, especially with AI, we've gone from having, I'd say 100 vendors that we worked with worldwide,
Okay.
that we actually have a relationship with, to now probably about 300.
Wow.
So we can pretty much source anything that you could.
How did AI, from a technical background, how did AI help with that? How are you able to source even more?
There are, I'm going to say over 100 shows, okay, all over the world for furniture and design and accessories and home decor. You can't possibly attend them all. And there's always new ones coming up, and then some of them die, right? So we attend Maison in Paris, right? We've attended Antwerp, and then we do a lot of the United States shows like High Point, which is the biggest show in the world, right? There's one in Atlanta, there's one in Dallas, there's one in Vegas, right?
Wow, that's big.
So we used to go to New York twice a year. So we attend all of these shows, and that's where we start to create these relationships, right? But also we make a lot of purchases, right? But with having all those shows, you're just scratching the surface. You're hitting more local than you are global, right? Because you can't attend that many.
Right.
With AI, I'm able to go in and say, okay, this show just happened. I want you to scroll, and obviously it's properly prompted, right? But I want you to scroll through all the exhibitors that showed and tell me which ones would be a match for what I do and my taste. And,
so it's as if it went to the event for you.
Correct. I mean, obviously it's not going to be as good as me going, because I might only pick 3 items from one company because they're special, right? But it's going to come back and tell me, okay, you should take a look at these 10 of the 100 companies. And then I look them up and I start searching through them and see if I feel like I missed something. And then I reach out to them.
Right. And see more about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's also streamlined our ability to really connect, with lots of other companies. I mean, you could just say, give me every contemporary, manufacturer in Brazil, right? And it's there in 2 seconds, right? So that has been a big thing, and we've embraced that for sure.
Have you used AI in any way to help create some of the designs, the feelings of,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, renderings, drawing,
renderings as well.
Even working kind of in collaborative with AutoCAD and SketchUp and things like that is becoming way more efficient. Your time frame is like a quarter. You don't have to wait on a lot of drafters. We're really able to punch it out. I mean, there's nothing more important than somebody's judgment and designer eye. No. So somebody's always going to be looking over it. I mean, AI can produce what you tell it to produce, but it's not going to produce really what you want.
It's making you faster.
It's making me faster.
That's really where I'm seeing AI help. Yeah. It's you still need that person there, but if that person knows how to use it, you're just able to more quotes, more clients, more more sales.
And another part that it has been, so to me, innovation in interior design is really going parallel with what your sourcing strategy is.
Okay.
Right? So if somebody comes to me and says, I need 50 of these little console tables, but it has to have leather trim on the side and the legs need to be stainless, right? Or they're specific about it. I used to maybe be able to come up with a vendor or two or maybe three that could either produce or had a piece similar.
Yeah.
Now, because of our sourcing strategy and being able to have all the catalogs of our vendors within AI, I can say, this is what I'm looking for, and it can start pulling for me. Some of them I wouldn't even know that they were there because I've never looked through their catalog that far.
Right.
And it's grabbing the ones that are similar, and then I can go through it and give the client actually more options too. Like, I know you wanted this, but this one's 1,000. Look at this one. This is different, and this is different, and it's $560. Right? So it's huge.
Yeah.
Right?
That's amazing.
And I think, I think a lot of interior designers were scared. I think I was scared at first. Really? I'll say I think. I don't like to be scared. But at first we were like, oh my gosh, this is the capabilities of searching online and AI is going to kill our job, right? Because the client can source themselves.
Right.
Right. But it's really not the case. And I think a lot of clients are extremely frustrated because they'll source, I shouldn't say clients, people are frustrated because they'll source on their own and then they get the pieces and it's not what they expected, right? And then they need to return it, and that's when they get nailed because that's when they get nailed with the shipping on the way back into this. So all
the craftsmanship, because especially now using AI or Photoshop, you could create images that look real.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you get the end product, it's not like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of people calling us, and they'll be like, hi, I understand you're a dealer for Lee Industries. Yes, I am. Okay, I wanted to check in with you because I see you have a website, but I wanted to make sure that you were real.
Wow.
Right? And where are you? And what is your, how long have you been with Lee? Like they're vetting us because they've, for lack of a better word, been screwed, right? Or, they're doubting the identity of these companies. And there's going to be so much fraud because of this.
I was going to say, too many options, which we know it makes it harder for you to decide.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing in some cases, but then also it's perfect for somebody that's trying to, fraud and
take advantage
of people. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we've gone down the technology train, of course, because it's yours. But yeah, we're trying to utilize it all to really service all of our clients as best as we can. And it's really given us a lot of capabilities to offer more, either for less or for, more efficiently. And it's pretty incredible.
Let me ask you, what is it that you like, or which type of projects do you like the most? Which ones are the ones that till today, even your mom, I would suppose, still would love to do?
It's kind of funny. It's like I love working with a good residential private client.
Okay.
Right? It's so much fun. I especially love it when they give me a lot of free reign. And then when they come home and they see the finished product and it's like HGTV and they're like, I love it, right? That is very fulfilling. On the flip side, I like the developer jobs because we are in and out,
You
right?
see the result.
Yeah, quickly. We know we have to execute. It's ordered, it's in, and that's the end of it. And then we're out where a residential private client can draw out longer. And of course, you've got a great relationship and right, like you become friends and it's, so it's got its plus and minuses, right?
Which one is more difficult? I would imagine the residential in a way, because don't people change?
And of course, it depends on who you're working with, not just the company or the project, right? Because you can have just one person who is they know exactly what they want. They're really easy. They make decisions quickly. Then you can have the people that it's a husband and a wife. They're going to agree on anything, right? And all of a sudden you become a marriage counselor in the middle of...
My wife is the first. She knows exactly what she wants.
Yeah.
And, she'll decide very quickly. Sometimes in my family, I'm like, that you don't want to see other options? Like, no, I know exactly which one I want. I'm like, I'm the opposite. I will
just be indecisive the whole right. Yeah.
I essentially need somebody to do it for me. One thing that I've learned from her is at least figure out the mood, the feeling you want that room to have.
Right.
I didn't realize
what
that was
story you want that room to tell.
Yes. And it's funny how I mean, Randy, you know this very well, but for me, I don't, to me, it's like magic. Like how do you create?
How did it come together?
Yeah. Right. And Fabiana is for some rooms, I walk in and I'm like, oh, wow, this room has this feeling. And I take a picture of it. And she had me do this. He goes, okay, so now look at everything individually.
Mm-hmm.
Would you buy that at the store? If you saw that on its own and it was this price, let's say not cheap, but not expensive, I say probably not.
Right.
And exactly.
But it comes together.
But
when you want that,
comes,
that vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
It's a talent for sure. I often tell people, you can go to school for interior design, but you're not going to be a successful interior designer unless you have that gene. It's just what
you have to be able to picture in your mind, right? Almost like how all these things come together, and how if you change one, it's science fiction to me.
And there's also really two kinds of designers, right? There's the designer that designs for themselves, and the designer that designs for the client.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
And usually you don't design for yourself until after you've earned it, and then now you're Kelly Wursler and you're designing the way you want to design, right?
Okay.
Our firm, we offer to do both. The client can tell us exactly what they want, and we will follow that, even though if it's out of our usual realm, we'll nail it, right? Or they can say, you go for it. I like this style, and we'll do it.
Got it. Well, that's good to know.
But we're very specific in the sense of we always want to make the client's home reflective of them, just like you're saying, telling the story, right?
Right.
So maybe what their culture is. Are they well-traveled? Are they all about their family and kids?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, we want to bring that characteristic and personality to their home for them.
Got it.
Right?
And to the rooms, I would suppose, because in some houses,
there's a theme per room.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a very fun job. I always tell people, I love my job. I spend other people's money, right? But it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work, especially when you're multifaceted like we are.
Right.
But I wouldn't change anything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Brianna,
thank you.
This was amazing.
Thank you so much.
I hope everybody found this, insightful. I know I definitely did. I learned something new.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. And where can people go to learn or read more about it?
Yes. So obviously, as we mentioned, we have the main showroom, which is at 4217 Ponce de Leon Boulevard in Coral Gables. You can also visit us at www.fineline.us. And of course, you can find me through FBC and just reach out through our website. But thank you. Thank you so much, Osmani.
Thank you.
All right.